No.
Like, I can't even get off on
Don't
frosted
even-
like I used to know. I don't even eat frosted flakes like that.
They don't fill the box anymore.
They don't. They
It's
don't fill the
filled
box with
halfway
nothing.
with air.
It's marketing, y'all.
Yeah, remember? Like, we remember when they started to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Fill the bag of chips with air.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we remember when it was filled to the top.
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today, we are back with another American reaction. We're super excited about this video, guys. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down, hit that red subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell, because we're on the road to 50K. And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
I f***ing hate American breakfast.
Bro,
Oh
what?
my God.
We got some bomb breakfast, man. Not everybody is, breakfast eaters at the end of the day, but
Right.
I mean, how did we get here? How did this become breakfast in my country? And what is breakfast even all about? Some people say it's the most important meal of the day, and others say that it's totally worthless and you don't even need to eat breakfast if you don't want to.
2 pancakes with hot syrup and butter.
I bet a lot of you
Makes your
watching
stomach
don't eat breakfast in the morning. And you know who else doesn't eat breakfast in the morning? This guy.
What do you eat for breakfast? Nothing.
I grew up thinking that breakfast had to be a certain way. But then in my 20s, I started traveling, and I learned that, in fact, this version of breakfast is a very narrow, very American version of breakfast.
I'm interested to see what he's going to say.
Yeah.
Because for us, I'm not really a breakfast person.
Yeah.
I have to eat, like, light breakfast, like fruits, vegetables, maybe toast. But I'm
like
not
my
really.
oats.
Yeah, and by the time I eat breakfast, I can't eat breakfast right when I wake up. I have to wait till like it gets closer to noon to eat breakfast. I've always been that way. Never really understand it. You,
What?
he likes pancakes.
I do, but I'm
got
not.
to eat his pancakes.
That's when I was on my bodybuilding journey.
Yeah, but now you have the kids wanting pancakes.
They eat pancakes. Pancakes is okay. It
Yeah.
depends on you know what I'm saying? Nothing wrong with pancakes. Pancakes is good.
Yeah, and for the kids, we usually eat we cook pancakes or waffles, with some syrup, maybe some little, fruits on there, or some, chocolate chips on there.
The chips.
Yeah.
That's dessert.
The waffles.
It comes in the waffles, actually.
Yes, it comes in the waffles, but, when we're making it from scratch, you can put it on there.
That's
Make
fine.
sure that they have dessert on there, grits sometimes, oatmeal.
Hey, what is you guys' preferences on eggs?
Yeah.
Because I hear a lot of people say eggs are the bomb, is good for you. Then some people say don't do eggs in the morning. Like, let me know in the comments what y'all think about
I
that.
have to do eggs. I eat my eggs now.
Eggs is good. Eggs is,
Yeah, and a meat of choice.
a meat of choice.
Yeah,
like a
I was
sausage
describing how we cook for the children.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, that's our normal breakfast. I wanted to get that out there before he gets into the video, just to see the things that he'll say.
You ain't going to tell them about the Southern style grits?
Oh, some shrimp and grits, some chicken and waffles. Yeah,
It gets crazy, y'all.
it gets crazy. If y'all want a video of an American breakfast, we have one, but I can do an updated one. Let me know.
Let us know. See the finger. It mean business.
Once I discovered non-American breakfast, I feel like my
Interesting
eyes were
to
open
hear
to
that.
a completely different approach to the first meal of the day. I want to show you some of those breakfasts. But first, let's talk about breakfast and how American breakfast got this way.
For about 22 cents, you get as much nutrition as this bacon and egg breakfast.
You don't make it like that
There's
no
no
more.
time for your regular breakfast.
Okay, before I jump into all of my opinions about breakfast, let's talk about science for a minute, like facts. Science for a minute, like facts.
Big facts. Big facts.
Does
big
breakfast matter? Is it actually the most important meal of the day like I was told my whole life?
You can't be your best if you don't eat a good breakfast.
Turns out there's data on this, lots of studies, but you don't need to read them all. In fact, don't read them all. Let me give you the 20-second version. Turns out the methods in a lot of these studies are really crummy. They weren't randomized controlled trials, like, the gold standard for good science. And in a lot of cases, they didn't really study anything useful. They kind of hyper-focus on breakfast as it pertains to weight. And in most of these studies, they don't even focus on what the person is eating for breakfast. They only focus on whether they do or do not eat breakfast, regardless of what they're actually eating. And to add to all of this, a lot of these studies are funded by corporations who have a vested interest in making breakfast seem necessary and healthy. So yeah, there's a lot of science on this, but the science does not come to any useful conclusions and is oftentimes just poorly conducted. What this means is that there's no real evidence that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And there's nothing special or magic about breakfast.
You know, one thing before you go, babe, I've seen, you know, I'm like him. Science is factual. People do like some real concrete research. And I've seen some things that said in the, you know, Google that there's no evidence that this would benefit what you're looking for it to benefit for. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but my thing is, why wouldn't you eat when you wake up?
So my thing is fuel.
Yeah.
Like, I need to get fueled up to go. I need to feel energized. I need something on my stomach. Who wants to start off your day? You slept for 5 hours, 8 hours.
No, that's our schedule.
Okay, 10 if you really, you know, if you're really one of those pillow princesses and you slept that long and then you wake up after a long beauty sleep with an empty tummy and you don't want to eat breakfast.
Right.
Like, you want to wait for lunch? You want to wait till like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock?
Right. Isn't that like a part of routines? I would love to see, you know, a routine of, you know, someone in one of these countries that he's going to talk about. Like, what is a morning routine without food?
Ooh, that's
like,
good.
you wake up, you brush your teeth, you wash your face.
With a coffee and that's it.
You know, you clean up your area that you slept in. You know, you get started about your day. Why wouldn't you eat?
More of a marketing myth than anything else.
Had any really good days
Everything is
lately,
marketing,
like
bro.
when the sun shines brighter and people seem friendlier and work goes faster.
The
Things
milkman.
like that. Well, the really good days start out good with new Carnation Instant Breakfast.
Okay, wait, but there is a little caveat in this. If you're like an 8-year-old kid or like a teenager and you're like in school, there actually is some useful evidence that says that eating breakfast in the morning is good for your learning and brain development. So, that's the caveat. There actually is evidence there. For the rest of us, though, if you like breakfast in the morning, eat breakfast in the morning. If you're not into that, don't do it. Okay? That's it. But unless you're a kid. But I don't know how many kids are watching. Okay, so that's the science on this. Turns out that I was a person for many years who thought...
Okay, hold on. I have to question that. Okay, so he said about the science behind, you know, having a healthy breakfast helps you to learn. But I feel like as a people, you learn things every day, regardless of if you're going to school or not. Like, if you are a person who have to go to work, and I know I was going to say this, but then I got to think it's more than just America. But if you are a person who drives to work, Americans, or, you know, anybody else who drives to work, or you're, you know, getting on public transport, you need to... Like you said, fuel.
It is
you
fuel.
know?
It is fuel. And it does help you learn better because you're not sitting there listening to your stomach the whole time.
Exactly.
I guess, like, that would make sense, but
Think
it does something to the brain.
It does.
Helps the brain get going.
It does, and I can say, you know, just from being sick in the pregnancies, every time I ate, of course, it would come up a few minutes later, but every time I ate, I felt renewed, refueled. You know, you feel alive, awakened, and, you know, just from another aspect of hyperemesis in the pregnancy, me not having, you know, those nutrients in my body, food in my body, I felt sluggish. I felt lazy. I felt sick. I didn't really feel alive, but food always made me feel alive. If that kind of makes sense. So, yeah.
No, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
The first food of the day.
Yeah.
That I didn't like breakfast. That I didn't need to eat breakfast. Growing up in a small town in Oregon, I didn't have a ton of exposure to other cultures and other things, and so my version of breakfast was this.
Have a bowl of cornflakes, spoon them from the dish. And there was some bacon.
This is all I knew as breakfast food. When we would eat, like, eggs and bacon for dinner, we were having breakfast for dinner. This food was inseparable from the institution of breakfast. if you're not from the United States, let me just break down what American breakfast is and its story, where it came from. I'll split it out into two main categories of breakfast in the United States. One I call diner breakfast. It kind of looks like this. And the other I will call cereal, which is everything from Pop-Tarts to Fruit Loops.
Where are the Fruit Loops?
Wow.
I didn't bring any.
To granola bars,
Granolas.
to Carnation Instant Breakfast. It's like the quick
Hold
stuff
up.
that's in our pantries.
I'm
that
sorry,
we-
I've never heard of no Carnation Instant Breakfast ever.
Is that like all in the box and you just microwave? What you do? It's in the
That's
drink?
milk, so I'm confused.
Uh-huh.
But okay, and so y'all know we always have to give our perspectives and our experiences. There is never going to be a American, one person or two people, us,
Right.
who's going to speak for the whole American culture. Okay, so we're from the South. If you haven't noticed, if you are new to the channel, we're from the South. We have a different type of breakfast here too.
Facts.
Our breakfast is soul. We have a little bit of soul, and ain't just no diner food.
Uh-uh. I mean,
All right. It depends on the day. It depends on the mood.
yeah.
All right. So yeah.
I thought you were about to give them a whole list, but you did earlier at the beginning, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, just checking.
just consume before work. First, let's talk about diner breakfast. There's no better reference for what diner breakfast is in the United States than the official
Yeah, IHOP,
menu
Waffle
of
House.
I don't
IHOP,
like that.
which is so inappropriately named as the International House of Pancakes.
Welcome to the International House of Pancakes.
Hi. At IHOP, this American institution, you can start your day with this. The stuffed French toast, which effectively looks like my birthday cake. Or you can get really cultured and hop over to Italy for some Nutella crepes. Or how about the Belgian waffle combo, which isn't just a waffle, but also comes with bacon and eggs. Perhaps you're feeling savory. So how about this breakfast sampler where you can eat a pig in 3 different ways? Because who just wants to eat bacon when you can have all 3? All of this accompanied by French fries. Hash browns. But why settle for these meager options when you could go with the Cinestack pancakes, which come layered with a luscious cinnamon roll filling
Sugar rush.
and drizzled with rich cream cheese icing and topped with, you guessed it, whipped cream. Icing for breakfast. Now here's the thing.
Hold
This
up,
diner-
hold up. See, that's why I just feel like these videos, it sometimes it puts us in a negative light, but then we react to so many different cultures on the channel, right?
Mhm.
What was the country where they feed their children chocolate chip sprinkles for
Dutch.
breakfast? Was it the Dutch?
Was it the Dutch?
It was the children who go on errands.
No. Ooh, it started
Was it
with an N?
Japan?
No, it wasn't Japan.
It's
It was somewhere cold.
somewhere cold.
It was somewhere cold. I remember the
where it
video.
was. I think it was the Dutch, maybe.
Could have been.
We don't want to say the wrong place, but I mean, y'all will okay chocolate
Hey, look,
sprinkles for
My man
breakfast.
is hitting the gas on us right now, making it seem like our breakfast is harmful. It's gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's just not the way to go with
Yeah.
icing and whipped cream and syrup and all this luscious sweetness stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
He hitting the gas
Yeah.
again. And then 3 different ways to eat a pig. Like, if you
Yeah.
really thinking that much into your meal, come on, bro. You hitting it, bro. Like,
Yeah. And I mean, not to say that anything is wrong with it. It's just different preferences, different cultures, different customs. Just like he only listed 2 types of breakfast, baby. In the South, we have different types of food. And I'm sure in other areas
Mhm.
of the United States, there's different types of food. In Alaska, there may be different types of food there. So you can't just, always take one person's word to generalize a whole
probably
nation.
So what would bacon be called if it was from a well?
Oh,
Waking?
you crazy.
It's Alaska.
I was thinking.
They don't
Yeah, I
got
was
pigs.
thinking
They got
that
pigs.
they eat.
I don't know. Don't. Let's not. Mm-mm.
Oh no.
Let's not.
Style American breakfast is inspired by Europe. American pancakes look a lot like other sweet, flat, unleavened breads that
They look
are
good.
eaten all over the world, and especially in Europe. We just deemed it necessary to fry it in butter and then put more butter on top and then drizzle literal liquid sugar over top and eat it for breakfast. That was the only modification we made to this wonderful tradition of European pancakes.
That sounds
the
good.
idea of eating pork-based cured meats in the morning is also a European tradition. It comes from like the traditional English breakfast, which is delicious. we just decided to get rid of some elements from that, like the beans and the tomatoes and the mushrooms. Who needs those anyway?
Where are the Fruit Loops?
The American waffle.
I would try
comes
that,
from-
y'all. Hey, that dish does look like something I would eat for a second. I'll give it a shot. The mushrooms got to be cooked a certain way, though. I'm picky with my mushrooms. I saw what happened when you ate mushrooms. You don't got to tell nobody else, baby. It's okay.
I'm not. That's too much of my personal business. I can't do mushrooms. But that's why I'm like so excited for us to go to these different places and experience the cultures. You know, I think people get misrepresented. I feel like our videos that we do, people think that we just don't like nothing. Really? You know? And that's not the case. It's just exposing ourselves to different cultures along with our community that we're building. And it's just fun to like, what was the thing in a Ziploc bag? Something the guy said
I really don't remember.
Pierogies or something?
It started with a P.
Yeah, just like
we wasn't even know. I thought it was some chips.
Right, and when they said what it was in the comment section, I'm like, I want to try it.
Yeah, that
and
sounds
the beaver tails in Canada, you know, like we want to try these things. So I'm ready for him to get to it. Let's see what the people eat.
Beautiful, delicious tradition of the Belgian or Liège waffles, which are served in dessert stores as desserts in Belgium. They're delicious.
I think this is for children
to
see
them for breakfast, and then decide to take out the best part, which is the pearl sugar, the crystallized sugar that makes a Belgian waffle or a Liège waffle delicious. To summarize, this diner style took European traditions, turned them into breakfast, and modified them by making them lower quality, bigger portions, and usually slathering them with cream and maple syrup.
All-you-can-eat pancakes. This calls for all-you-can-eat silverware.
Oh, right.
Get IHOP's all-you-can-eat pancakes free when you buy any breakfast combo.
I mean, icing for breakfast?
Yeah.
It just doesn't sound good. Okay, so that's the diner version of American breakfast. A big, important category of what Americans like to eat for breakfast. The other category looks like this. This is the stuff that's in our pantries. This is the stuff we eat before we go to work. It's quick. It's what I grew up eating as a child. Let's call this the cereal category. This food came into our lives and became widespread because of one main force: industrialization.
The factory whistle awakened people in the mornings and measured off their long days of toil.
With the birth of factories and the standardized workday, suddenly you had demand for a consistent, quick, convenient food in the morning to fuel you for the day. Paired with that, you also now had technology to mass produce products that would fit this demand. Perhaps the best symbol of this shift towards mass-produced, easy, convenient breakfast food is cornflakes.
Kellogg's cornflakes.
The Kellogg's Corporation,
Flakes,
which made cornflakes, was a pioneer.
Frosted Flakes?
Yeah, Frosted Flakes are just the frosting on the cornflakes.
Yeah, and then even today they don't even put that much frosting like they used to. Like I can't even get up on Frosted like I used to know. I don't even eat Frosted Flakes like that.
They don't fill the box anymore.
They don't. They
It's
don't fill the
filled
box
halfway
with nothing.
with air.
It's marketing, y'all.
Yeah, remember? Like, we remember when they started to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Fill the bag of chips with air.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we remember when it was filled to the top.
For real.
In making this breakfast food popular, not only because they were able to mass produce it and cheaply sell it, but also because they marketed it in this way that made it feel like the most important thing in the world.
The kellogs add extra vitamins to make their cornflakes the best there's ever been.
But there was a problem. Over time, people would look at this lousy bowl of cornflakes and be like, who wants to eat this? This is boring. But America had a solution. All we needed to do was pump it full of sugar.
One big
add sugar.
Gives me lots of energy.
Nutritious breakfast.
Jeez.
Boy, these commercials didn't make it on my TV. I didn't see these before.
Impressive, right there. Wow. Yeah. That's how I feel after I eat a Pop-Tart as well. Anyway, people started to believe that breakfast, and especially these commodities, which were quickly becoming dessert disguised as breakfast,
The ultimate fruit flavor.
were the key to a healthy morning and a good start to the day. And soon, I was born into a world A world where breakfast products and norms were cemented before me. A world where millions of Americans would wake up in the morning and consume dessert disguised as breakfast. Your muffin is just a cupcake in disguise. That cup of yogurt might as well be a scoop of ice cream. And then there's the mighty donut. The food that doesn't even pretend
I love donuts.
to be breakfast. It's just literal dessert, and it's like shamelessly just like, hey, I'm dessert. Do you want to eat me for breakfast? And a lot of people are like, yeah. I mean, I kind of respect that. I'm kind of like, if you're going to be dessert.
I think even with dessert, you can have cheat days because you got all this sugar and stuff. Like, but in reality, a good breakfast does require fruits and things of that nature. That's really going to help your body, like, electrify itself.
Yeah, like
you know
a little bit of everything in a smaller portion. And that's, again, that's just preference. You know, for us, we use like cereals, Pop-Tarts, donuts. Those are things that we eat on days when we don't feel like cooking.
Yeah, on the fly. Like, that's something we just grab and go. Like, but if there's something like a bowl, like when it's a nice dress, y'all see my baby be dressing up these breakfast dishes so nice. Like, she would have her strawberries. She be having everything set up so nice. And it's a really good dish. You feel me?
Because you eat with your eyes first, so it has to be presented correctly.
Yeah. Eat with your eyes first, Lord Jesus.
Just like represent yourself. I respect the donut. But wait, let me make one thing clear. My issues with this have nothing to do with nutrition, even sugar or calories or any of that. I actually have a big issue with our obsession with categorizing food by its numbers and its constituent parts. Not into that. I don't really care. My problem here is that I don't like this food. I just genuinely do not want to wake up and consume dessert for breakfast. If you do like,
I blame it on his parents. His parents should have packed up their car and brought him on down to the South. He wanted some real food for breakfast.
The South would have had him feeling nice. Like, you wouldn't be questioning nothing. You feel me? You would have been
He
eating good.
He wouldn't have wanted to go to school because he would have been so full at home.
Right. Well, I don't know if that's a good thing.
Well,
that's
no, because he would have wanted seconds. That's what I'm getting at.
I think a breakfast shouldn't require you to feel sluggish afterwards or tired.
But
like,
we don't.
It's a wake-up call.
I said that because he would have wanted seconds.
Seconds would have definitely been an option.
Yes.
He would have wanted seconds. But would have been like, nah. You got sprayed it.
You got to go to school.
Get out of here.
this stuff for breakfast, that's awesome. I have no issues with you, and I'm not going to try to convince you to change that.
Cereal pancakes.
Yum.
With Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Lucky Charms, and Captain Crunch.
See, I'm sorry, you guys. These marketings always thinks about the babies first. So if y'all see all this sugar and icing, man, we talking about the future here. And who's the future? Our children. So when these kids come to these restaurants and everything, the parents are not necessarily buying for themselves first. They're like, what do you want? And they go straight to that delicious whipped cream looking aisle, and they say, I want this on my plate, I want that. And yeah, that's
I saw this on the commercial.
This is what he sells coming at, and this is why they keep pushing the narrative of this. So I understand why he's not happy with it, because it may not fit what he likes. But then, like he said as well, if you're a kid,
came on down to the South.
If you're a kid, the breakfast is gonna always be available for you, always.
Yeah. A bit of time has passed, and a few things have changed. Number one, I got a haircut. But number two, I think I'm cracking the code on how to change my breakfast experience. I've spent the past few months thinking a lot about breakfast, and I've started to introduce different breakfast cultures into my morning routine that have really changed my world.
Oh yeah, people do
I'm not going to share all
breakfast
this
as
with you now
well.
because this video would be like 30 minutes long, but I have been filming all of this, and it has been a really interesting journey to invite different breakfast cultures into my world. If enough people are interested and you leave comments somewhere, I will share it and make a video about what breakfast looks like for me these days. Spoiler alert, there's no icing. I still have my occasional bowl of Lucky Charms, which is a delicious cereal. And the occasional pancake with my kids, that's great stuff. I mean, I'm not above that food. It's just not what I want to eat every morning. So anyway, I'll share that if you're interested. Lastly, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, which is Skillshare, which is a place where I have learned a lot of my video skills, but they also have cooking tutorials, I discovered. They have a course on there about how to make the perfect grilled cheese sandwich, which, by the way, is an amazing breakfast. And it's one of thousands that Skillshare has of all different types of topics, whether it is animation and video, which are the courses I've taken, or entrepreneurship, business, photography, design, like basically everything. Skillshare is incredibly cheap, and for you it could be completely free for 2 months. You could have access to all of these tutorials for free if you go to the link in my description. Click that link, it helps support this channel, but more importantly, it kicks off your journey of learning something new for free for 2 months. That's like 2 months, it's like 60 days of zero money playing around with this really awesome resource on the internet. And then after that, it's like less than $10 a month if you do the annual subscription, which is just ridiculously cheap for what you're getting. Thank you, Skillshare, for supporting this channel and letting me make these videos. And thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one.
You know what?
What?
I love breakfast. I can't get rid of breakfast. I think there's some things that I won't eat. I'm older now, so I feel like that I know the things that I can take in my body.
Right.
I don't want to be that guy. Nothing against people who do this, but I don't want to be that guy who needs vitamins every single morning. Though vitamins does have some things in there that will help your body, but if a good breakfast is suitable for everything that my body would need, give me that first.
Right, but the way that we shop, grocery shop, we get things for the whole food pyramid. So we get a little bit of everything. That's why, you know, our doctor said that we're healthy. We don't need no supplements. Of course, supplements is good to have when you don't have a well-balanced diet, but our diet is well-balanced.
Yeah.
So, I always love his video. He have facts. It's entertaining. It's good to follow along. So make sure you check out his channel. Definitely. And I also love that, you know, he took it upon himself to make a change. He went into other cultures and, you know, made foods from other cultures to change something that he didn't like.
I would definitely want to see the next video with his actual breakfast experiences that he have, so he can know which ones he like and don't like. So and then like you was asking earlier, to see all the other cultures' morning routines, to see how they eat their breakfast, he will probably show that, you know. So that'd be good to see.
So yes, guys, if you want to see our breakfast routine, let us know. We'll do that for you.
Yeah.
All right, like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you like to support the channel that way. And as always, we'll see you soon.